Hi, this is Marc.
I'm Alexei.
And we are in Barcelona in Aclam Studios. We are going to compare analog versus digital. So, what do you think?
Well, there's a lot of things I think about, but in terms of analog versus digital, strictly speaking from my experience as a player and someone who enjoys listening to music, of course, analog kind of has a very different feeling for me, a whole different sensation.
Yes.
Digital has its own unique sensation and sound. I'm not saying which one's better, which one's worse. It's all about what you prefer, what you want out of life. For me, I use analog, tubes to listen, to play. So
yeah, but in terms of emulation, which is what we're going to compare here, do you think it's worth to pay more for an analog pedal or an analog effect, or do you think it's okay to use some kind of digital emulation for a delay or a distortion? Or
I mean, I've used both, and I have paid a lot more money for analog. But of course, there's a lot of digital emulation out there, especially in the studio, right? With software and things like that. And there's some amazing emulation happening where you can't tell the difference. But I think I still can. At least I know what I like, I think.
Right. So, are you prepared?
No.
The first comparison is going to be a 1965 Maestro Fuzz-Tone unit, which I believe, and I think it's mostly known, that this is a unit that was used on Satisfaction, one of the most renowned Rolling Stones song, and we are going to compare it with this Line 6 M5 Stompbox modular, which has this Bosso, it's called Bosso simulation, which is based on this particular unit. And Alexei, you don't know which one is the real deal.
No.
And we are going to try to guess which one is the real unit. So, are you ready?
Let's do it.
Cool. So, this is bypass, clean signal. This is A. B. Quite different.
Definitely different.
Want to play again?
Sure.
A again. B. Could you roll off a bit your volume?
Okay.
With E. A, sorry. B again. So,
Oh man.
what do you think?
I mean, I don't remember anything now. I was just.
Want to try again? A?
Let's try
B?
it just a little bit. I'll roll off the volume a little
Okay.
and use the neck pickup.
Cool.
So this is
A. This is A, the first one.
cool. A. Cool, that's A.
And B?
Alright, this is B. Whoa.
So, do you have a guess?
I have a guess. For me, I think I can describe it as this last one, which was B.
Yes.
I'm going to use kind of the standard descriptors maybe. It felt warmer around the edges,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt more comfortable.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. And so I guess you need an answer.
Yes.
Yeah. My guess is that B, this last one, was the Maestro. That's my guess. Please don't fire me if I'm wrong.
So, you're wrong. Yeah. A is the original. Want to play it?
Yeah, we have to.
This is A.
So this is A. Okay.
I'm gonna roll down the attack a little bit. Well, the gain.
Cool.
Yeah, bit more attack. Want to play it again? Then B.
This is B.
Well, to be fair with the line 6, it sounds pretty decent for me. But you know, I think the Maestro sounds like more like a real fuzz box, you know,
Yeah.
with a lot of compression. And the line 6, it's more like regular distortion, you know. Even that it has a lot of knobs like the drive and 3-band EQ, you know. You mess around with them and the tone doesn't change that much.
I mean, yeah, it's a unique thing, especially it's a different feeling. Like when I opened up the guitar,
Yeah.
the line 6 sounded a lot more brighter.
Yes. Yeah.
But I didn't notice that when the tone was rolled off a little
Yeah.
bit. So it's like the texture changes depending on how you play your attack. And
Yeah.
that example when we were playing and I had to guess, it felt what I like to hear, how I like my guitar to sound. But when I opened it up, then it was the opposite. It was kind of reversed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a bad
So
unit.
I need both. No, you need both.
Yeah. I think that's a good conclusion. They sound different. They sound
Yeah,
different.
of course.
Well, cool. Now we're gonna compare delays. Well, that was a bit unfair.
I love digital.
Yeah.
And
Well-
I love analog.
Well, no, because you know, distortion units have like a lot of artifacts, you know, and maybe they're you know, a bit more tough to distinguish. Yeah, sorry. But now, you know, it's more strict. You know, repetitions, no distortion, no artifacts, right?
I'm more familiar with this world, this sonic landscape.
Cool. Yeah. Well, gonna present next demo. This is Tube Tape Echo from Fuzz-Tone, which is a replica from the famous Maestro, again, Echoplex EP3. EP3? You know?
I think
AP3,
so.
right? Cool. Because there were many. Echoplex is a solid state one, I think, which is a tape echo, analog recording and reproduction. And then here's the Strymon El Capistan, which is, kind of a state-of-the-art technology in digital, analog emulation. So.
Yeah, an impeccable conversion. This is from my private collection. No, I wish.
Yeah, but you is, right?
Yeah.
So, well, you messed with both technologies.
Yes.
So what do you have to say about them?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of delay, and it's great for the music that I play. I like a lot of ambient music. I love reggae, especially dub. So I've used both of these. The Strymon, I own the Strymon. So I've explored, I think, as much as I can, but there's still so much to discover, even with just technically what it's capable of and what you can do live with it. It's great for synths. It's good. It's amazing for every instrument. And the Echoplex I've recorded within the studio also. It's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing.
But tone-wise, you mean?
Yeah, it's. I mean, they're both amazing machines. So this one is definitely the Strymon. They've developed beautiful technology to emulate real analog tape, but then with the Echoplex, you're dealing with a physical element that you cannot.
Yeah.
No matter how much you try to emulate it, there's still a physical thing occurring.
Yeah, because there's that's something often said that. Digital technology offers a great broad variety of options, and there's a lot of things that you cannot do with digital, with analog delays and blah blah blah. But when you mess with the knobs with a real unit, that's another world. There's many things that you cannot do with a digital pedal also.
Of course.
Yeah.
When you go hands-on, that's when this can react in very unpredictable and amazing ways.
Yeah. So, shall we give it a try?
Yeah.
Cool. So, again, blind test. You don't know them. This is A. Well, this is bypass.
Yeah. This is bypass.
A. In B. Again A. And B again. Well, there's a noticeable difference between them. So,
do I have to guess?
yeah, definitely.
The last one was the Echoplex.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, you can hear the hum of the recording and playback heads, but there's that artifacts and the tone. Well, in this case, the tone is warmer. Yeah.
It's just has a lot more presence, I think, in all the frequencies, maybe, especially in the mid to lower body. It occupies so much more space.
Yeah. The Capistan, it sounds really nice, but it's like thinner, skinnier.
That's one way to put it. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Shall we try it again?
Yeah.
This is the Strymon.
Here's a little King Tubby. Nice.
Full tone. We can mess with the knobs a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
Here's the tone, maybe brighter tone. And full tone. That repeats. Yeah. Well, different animals, but definitely you can go on every gig with this unit.
Some people do, man.
Yeah.
But then usually if you do, you have a backup.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, and also you have to change the tapes
Tape, yeah.
because they worn out. Yeah.
But that's the beauty of it, right? The
Yeah,
technology,
sure.
it's just pure. Nothing lasts forever, man.
Yeah.
This probably does, though.
Yeah. Well. Let's see. Let's see in 10 years.
Yeah.
Cool. So that was a delay comparison. Now we're going with reverbs. Right. So that was delays, and then there is another effect that it's really dynamic, and I think it's really difficult to emulate through digital technology, which is reverb. And here we have a Fender 63 Reissue reverb, which has it has the reverb tank with springs, and it's tube powered. And here we have the Oceans 11 from Electro Harmonix, which is quite a new release. I think they presented in 2018, I think. And that will be a tough one also. Are you ready?
Let's do this, man.
Are you a reverb user?
Yeah, of course. I have a couple Fender combos, Deluxe, 78 Deluxe, and a Princeton reverb. So the Deluxe has very rich, lush reverb, which outshines the Princeton, but I love the Princeton. And I've owned the Holy Grail.
From Electro Harmonix.
From Electro Harmonix, yes. Yeah. And now I also own the Neuneighbor Immerse.
Which is a very different animal.
Yeah, very different, yeah. Because, but I love reverb.
That's a good thing about reverbs, because there's, the analog stuff like plates and springs, but there's also like halls and the more fancy shimmer stuff.
Yeah, the algorithms are crazy.
But even though it's really hard to emulate, the behavior of a real spring tank. So
just like the tape.
Yeah, exactly, like the tape. And it depends also on your strumming, your technique. So we're going to compare that with the latest technology and the oldest one.
Yep.
So a bit of clean signal. This is A. B. Again E. A, sorry.
Yeah, one more time.
B. I'm gonna try with the bridge pickup again.
Yeah. Full bridge.
B. So,
Man.
what do you think?
My mind fluctuates, man, just like the spring. I think this last one was the Harmonix, Electro Harmonix.
Mm-hmm. And the first one
Was
the real.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry to say that you're wrong again. No, it's really tough to distinguish because, yeah, well, the Electro Harmonix does a pretty good job. But I think that if you listen to the details of the digital one, you can hear like it sounds like a bit more fake. Let's say it this way.
Yeah.
Want to hear it again?
I have to.
This is the Electro Harmonix. You hit that tail?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, not
Overwhelming.
not that dynamic. It sounds always the same.
Yeah.
And if you use the Fender. Yeah, that drip. Yeah.
yeah, there it is. I mean, that's yes, of course, that's the
Yeah. But again, it's like, wow, nowadays, of course, we are not in the 80s or in the 90s. There's, a lot of new technology then that, makes it really hard to distinguish between, the analog effect and the emulation.
Yeah, I definitely. I mean, for me, there's a lot of sound, there's a lot of things happening, but they both sound great, of
but
course.
don't you think when they tell you the truth, you cannot play again with the digital one, and you want to stick with the analog?
Of course. I mean, yeah, it's hard. It was hard to differentiate the two. So anything I say now is going to be questioned by everybody. But give me a couple more minutes, and I would.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, this.
Wow. Well, in fact, this one can.
It can do that?
Yeah. If you press it twice. Not the same. Not the same. No. Well, so that was all.
Did I pass? No, I didn't.
Well, not that much. But make your own conclusions, and hope to see you again in the next video. Thank you very much.